Hi, Karen with you today. Thank you so much for joining me. I have a scrapbook layout for Kitaholic's kits, and this is my first layout for the month of July. And I'm just flicking through a few of the products that we got in this gorgeous kit this month. Lots of Maggie Holmes wonderfulness, and those gorgeous pattern papers that we got in this month's kit are just fabulous. I love the blue tones, some of the lilac tones as well, and of course those completely fussy cuttable flowers on that pattern paper as well. So I had an idea in mind for this one that I wanted to be a little bit mixed media heavy. But firstly, what I thought is start to look for the color tones that I wanted to focus on. So I'm heading towards, in my mind at this stage, looking at having pinks and some of the blues and some of the green tones as well. So I'm just flicking through the ephemera pieces. Now, most of these ephemera pieces do not actually end up on this layout because as I progress through, I can completely change my mind on what I'm going to do. But I really do love the idea of going through some of the ephemera or the floral pieces first, just to give you a bit of inspiration. It also helps when you're choosing things a little bit later. I got that tip from the wonderful Gwen from A Cut to You, and I always love to shout out to Gwen. It really made a really big difference to how I sort of sit down and plan my layouts as well. So I have an idea now that I want to create a wreath on the page. And so I grabbed out one of my dishes from the kitchen. It was a perfect size and just traced around the edges with a black pen. I knew I was going to be covering up this quite a lot, so I didn't worry that I was using black pen on the page. I have pre-gessoed my white cardstock there with some clear gesso as well. I don't actually use a lot of water really on this layout, so I probably didn't need to, but if you've listened to me before, I have a whole stack of pre-gessoed cardstock ready for me to go for any mixed media. So I just grab that whenever I'm using any form of mixed media. It is definitely my favorite thing to do in terms of, particularly if I'm using lots of water, and it gives you the ability to be able to move things around the page a little bit more. So I'm kicking off part of this background with using one of the pastes from last month's mixed media kit, that beautiful blue. Now it was a little bit darker than what I wanted, so I did add some white acrylic paint to it as well, and just got to the and just kept adding in small splotches of white until I got the color I actually wanted on the my little plastic packaging there. Then I added in some, and then I sort of moved a little bit over onto another sheet, added some water, and then smushed it around the page. And it's as simple as that. I just wanted to give a bit of a base for where my wreath is going to really sort of grow from here. And I really like how that turned out. I love how messy it is. It gives a really lovely messy look to the page. And then I just added some gold splatters. This is some gold Kaiser mist that's been in my stash for some time. I'm actually nearly out of it, so I do need to source some more pretty soon. But it gives a lovely little sort of spots of shine and sparkle throughout that wreath shape as well. And of course, I've added in some white splatters using some Dina Wakley gloss spray as well. So next, I wanted to use this month's pastes from the kit and the gorgeous Vicky Booten stencil of the butterflies. I was mushing around in my mind that I wanted to create with these butterflies, and I'm going to fussy cut these out. So I did not gesso this white cardstock because I was not going to put any major liquids or anything like that on there. And I'm putting a relatively thin piece sort of swiping through with the mousse. I don't want it to be too heavy, and I didn't want it to bleed too much either. So I was taking, although I have sped this up, it took me quite a while. I made sure I was quite sort of slow and as precise as I can be. Anyway, you know I love a mess. And I do that in both of the pink and the green colour. Look at that green. It's so lush. I absolutely love it. And this paste is so beautiful. It just slides over any sort of stencil or the page. It really is absolutely gorgeous. I'm also using a palette knife that we got in a previous mixed media kit as well. So this is all about the Kitaholics Kits mixed media today. I always love playing with those kits each month. It's gives you an opportunity to try some new things, or even if you've never tried mixed media before, I totally recommend taking a look and maybe including this in a future kit if you are a subscriber. And if you're brand new, I mean, look at the shine. It's a little hard to see there, but the shine on that paste is just gorgeous, gorgeous. So I spent a little time off. Oh, no, I remember now. I did add in some more. Butterflies always need some dots, and they always have sort of random black and white and different tones across their wings. So I'm adding in here some gold splatters all across. Like I did with the base background, I did make sure these were completely dry, and I didn't use a heat gun for this. I just sat them aside and worked on other components of my layout. It wouldn't normally bother me I would have used a heat gun, but this time I didn't really want the bubbles to occur, which certainly occur if my heat gun gets a little hot. So I added also some white splatters as well. And then I do come in with some black splatters. And to do the black splatters, I do use my black gesso, just a little tiny drop on my sheet there, and then I add some water and smash it all down. And I wanted to make the black quite fine, so I did use my fan brush for the black splatters as well. And because I dried all of those butterflies before this ink splatters, I was able to use my paper towel just to roll up that a little bit and help it dry along the way. And I really, really love how these butterflies turned out. And this is where I decided that my whole layout was basically going to be fluttery butterflies all around the wreath. So like I said, I did fussy cut all of those out, and look at those beautiful shiny butterflies on the left hand side there. Oh, I love how these turned out so much. All right, so I've chosen my photo. I went through a few photos to get to where I wanted to go for this one, and decided on this photo of my sister and brother-in-law on their wedding day almost 20 years ago. They'll be celebrating their 20th wedding anniversary this year. So I am trying to pull together some layouts, which I often give them a layout or two on their anniversary. So I'm just getting ahead of the game at the moment, trying to make sure I can do all that before their anniversary. I have popped the photo up onto some foam, and I just used some of the cut apart patterned paper as well, just to add a little bit of edging around the photo, a bit of a mat around the photo. And I really, really loved that cut apart in the pink there. I thought that was a perfect saying to really go with the photo as well. So I decided to keep that its entirety. Originally, I just looked at it for the pink, and then I realized that the words were perfect, and that's becoming pretty much, I guess, a subtitle component of the layout. I did pop the photo up on some foam, but I didn't pop the ephemera, the tag piece up on foam. I sit that on top of that, so it gives a bit of a dimension across that page as well. And then I go to town with just filling up that whole piece with all the butterflies. So I do try to put some of the larger sizes around the page, and then I just start filling it in. I don't really take a great deal of care when it comes to this. Okay, occasionally I try to make sure there's not too many pink ones together and too many green ones together. It took me a couple of goes before I sort of felt happy with it. But really it was just about getting all these gorgeous butterflies around that page. I just love how fluttery they look. When I do get to sticking these down, I only put glue on the body component of the butterfly, so you get some really lovely dimension through the page as well. So I just continue to add those in. When I think I'm finished, I realise I'm not, and I then add some more in and that type of thing. I'm using this great card from the ephemera pack, which has got the word lovely. I just nestled that in amongst some of those butterflies just as an added bonus, and I really felt that that's probably the title of the page. And then embellishing any more was really not required. I do add a couple of flowers in, that little tag where it says beautiful as well, which came from the ephemera pack. And I add just one of the vellum flowers that was also in the ephemera pack. Those vellum flowers are absolutely gorgeous. Just at the top left-hand side of the photo there, just to add some different interest, I guess, to sort of tone down the butterflies, although you can't really tone down how many butterflies I have put on this page. And then I add a little bit of a butterfly there to the left of the photo as well, just so it's in terms of the flow, I've got butterflies across the page. And I do add one over onto the right-hand side as well. That's me just filling up some glue in my, I should have edited that out, in my fine liner bottle there. Using so much mixed media, and to make sure that these butterflies absolutely are never going to come off, I'm using my wet glue, and I'm using Scotch tacky glue in this particular fine liner bottle. And it was perfect because it allowed me to, in some cases, not really move the butterflies very much. And I was able to sort of just tuck in that needle where it needed to be glued, etc. So I'm just finishing off here just with an extra few. I still had some left on my desk, so I thought, is there any more places that I can fit them? And I really love that you can still see the mixed media component of the paste that I did early on in the piece. Just shining through some of those areas as well. To finish off, I added in some white splatters from the Dina Wakley white gloss. And I'm pretty sure I added in some more black as well. Yes, I added in some more black splatters as well, just to finish that off. Now, as always, I will leave in the comments section below all the details on where you can get the kits from at Kitaholic's Kits. Please check out the store. I know there's some left at this stage, not many though. I'm sure this kit will sell out really fast, as well as the mixed media kit as well. So I've got some close-ups for you today, and here's the finished product. As always, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. Your support means a great deal, and I love that you come and share some of your creative time with me. And I will see you next time. Thanks so much. Bye for now.